Welcome to Choreo Chaos. It is Wednesday, and it is also Papa T's birthday, so everyone say happy birthday to my dad. Happy birthday, Dad! I'm sure you don't look as old as you feel. Alright, so this week we're talking about best and worst dates. Kind of a difficult prompt for me because I'm not really a serial dater. In any sense of the word, I never saw the point of casual dating in high school, or now, which is when you're supposed to do it, I guess. Like, if I had any inkling that you were going to be a bad date, you weren't going to get a chance in the first place. And I really haven't had a lot of success with really good long-term relationships either. I think my record right now is 7 months, which is pretty good, I guess. I've just never really been one for dates. I'm kind of an old-fashioned dinner and a movie sort of gal. Anything else is just an activity or hanging out, which I'm totally happy with. Really, the thing is, I just, value the companionship, and it doesn't really matter what we're doing. So I don't have a lot of good date stories because I don't go on dates. And I absolutely know that I'm not going to be able to beat Katie because... Whew. But, I'll do my best to twist the facts to fit the prompt. If I had to pick a worst date, it would probably have been my last date with my first boyfriend, back when I was a junior in high school. The entire date was permeated with this sort of one-sided awkwardness because I knew I was going to break up with him at the end of the night. You guys, I'm such an awful person. I'm such a bad girlfriend in every sense of the word. We hadn't seen each other a lot because we were dating over the summer and both traveling to see family. He also had a medical procedure at one point, and his mom wouldn't really let me see him. And I knew marching band season was starting up soon, and I was going to be seeing him even less because he wasn't in band. Marching band is sort of like a cult, as in you kind of only date the people within the marching band because you just really don't have the availability to date anybody else. So we all date within the band, but you don't date within your section. And if a friend quits, they're just not your friend anymore. And it's not because they're not in band, it's just because that you don't see them and they're not at band to do band things with you, so you don't have time to do anything else. Anyway, so we went to this movie, and the entire time, all I could think about was how I was going to break up with him at the end of the night, and how was I going to do it because he was my first boyfriend and he was so sweet, and I didn't want to hurt him, but I knew it wasn't going to work anymore, and so I felt bad for leading him on even more than I already was, and so I just spent the entire movie freaking out, and it kind of ruined the movie Public Enemies for me. Or if that doesn't satisfy you, I don't know if you could call an entire relationship a bad date, but I met one guy at a Harry Potter midnight premiere, and it was all downhill from there. My best date is also sort of hard to say because obviously most of my actual dates are pretty middle of the road. But what does stand out is one date with my most recent ex. We were doing a long distance relationship. I was outside of Houston and he was in Austin, and so I was visiting him. We saw Real Steel on IMAX, which is a great movie, by the way. And that was nice, but then we sort of went and wandered about the city, kind of up and down the drag in Austin, and I just remember it being a lot of fun, even though I don't really remember what else we did. We almost crashed an Indian celebration up on the UT campus, but we ended up not doing that. Oh, and I almost got a tattoo. Mom, Dad, it was a very loose definition of almost, so don't worry, I'm still unblemished. And that was probably my favorite date because we just were running around an awesome city. I just remember having a lot of fun. To me, a good date doesn't really have anything to do with where you are or what you're doing or how much money someone spends. It's really all about the company and the mentality of it. Like, if you're having a great time just being with that person, it doesn't really matter what you're doing, right? I've spent entire afternoons laying on my significant other's couch watching a really shitty anime on Netflix and taking naps, and it probably could be considered one of my best dates, if you want to call it that. What I'm saying is, I don't really have good date stories because to me, dates don't matter. It's about the person, not what you do. So, that's my excuse for not having a great video, and I'm sticking with it. I've also had some really nice ace dates with my squish buddy, Savannah, who stood in for my long distance boyfriend on Valentine's Day and our 6-month anniversary and the opening weekend of The Avengers, where we sat in the front row and ate donuts that we snuck into our tiny janky theater and then went to an Irish pub. So tell me about some of your best and worst dates. Show me up, because I know my stories were really bad. I want to hear about your dates, especially if one of them involves mini golf. In my honest opinion, mini golf can go either one of two ways: really well or just horrendously. Thank you for stopping in. I will see you guys next week, and Hannah, I'll see you on Friday.